Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For everyone that has been here before, welcome back. After rewatching my previous devlog, I've decided to remake it, as I was not too proud of the last one. I hope you all enjoy the updated version of my first devlog. I have always been fascinated by video games, wondering how they worked, rather than my friends who just enjoyed the eye candy on the screen. Once I discovered that I could actually make a game, I was hooked. The only constant problem was burnout. My younger self could not stay focused for long enough to make a finished project. I'm a solo dev who has been working on game development in Unity for a while. I've done a few game jams here and there, and I'm excited to remedy my past struggles. My scope was always too big, but this time I'm determined to make that change. My main inspiration for the game were games like A Monster's Expedition, Captain Toad, or the remastered edition of Link's Awakening on Switch. I wanted to create a cozy and bubbly 3D puzzle game. I find the puzzle design in those games so intriguing, but a little too easy. I've always wanted to make a game where I could use the look and feel of those games, but make the puzzles a bit harder. Well, that's my goal at least. Relearning how to make 3D models was the first step in the right direction. I tinkered around with Maya for a while, following some tutorials until I was able to make a model of the main character. I guess this is a good time to talk about the story of my game. I want the game to focus on a wizard that has lost his elemental sprites. These sprites give him his magical abilities. Starting with basic fire spells, I want the levels to focus around the evolution of these skills. After finishing a level, you could get a more advanced move or even a new element. I think it would be a cool concept to model the levels after. After finishing him up, I rigged him and started to paint the skin weights when, of course, Maya crashed. This happened about 3 more times, and I was getting very frustrated. Eventually, I got it done, and now we have a fully functional character. Kinda. Now, onto the main mechanic and title for this episode, the camera. Before testing the camera at all, I had to make the player move in order to get a full sense of the camera design. The first goal was to create a camera that could linearly rotate around a pivot point using the arrow keys. Simple enough, but I was so wrong. My first major obstacle was rotation in Unity. Quaternions came in with a vengeance. Rotation in Unity is so goddamn complicated, I can't even begin to understand. I spent more time than I would like to admit, only to be greeted by a mountain of compiler errors. The next day, of course, I figured it out easily, and we completed our first goal. Well, on to the next part of the camera. The one thing that I noticed about the camera in these games was that the pivot point of the camera was not always centered around the player. You were always free to rotate the camera, but you could never move the position of the camera. That was always handled by the game. I found that as an important observation. Sometimes the position of the camera was locked on 1, 2, or all axes. I had to create a system that locked the camera in a straight line or in a plane, because a box really did me no good. This was the second goal. I made it more difficult on myself, of course, because I wanted to be able to make the system very adaptable for future use, considering that I would be making multiple levels. The process that I ended up with was this. First off, I created an array of points that the camera would pivot to and calculate what orientation it was on, like X-oriented or Z-oriented. Taking that orientation, I could clamp all the other directions of the camera, making it move only on a single line. But this all had to be changeable in the inspector using only points. This led me down a rabbit hole of API and documentation that gave me this. Ta-da! Yes, just a moving camera, but I'm very, very proud of this moving camera. Now I can take 2 points and the camera will only follow the player on that path. Of course, I had about 25 bugs with this, but it isn't game dev without bugs upon more bugs. That was only 1-dimensional motion. Now it was time for 2-dimensional. This was far more complicated than the first round. I first looped through all the points compared to each other to figure out which way it was oriented in similar fashion to the first time, but much more tricky because now we have twice as many points. Next, I had to have a different clamping method for every orientation, and bam! Frustration and sadness. But eventually, after the inevitable mountain of bugs, we did it. Kinda. Only the YZ orientation works right now, but hey, it's something. That leads me to the point that I am while writing this. I still have things to add like damping and zooming, but it's a start. It took me a while to get where I am right now, and would love if you would subscribe. My socials are linked in the description, so please give them a follow. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed this updated first devlog, and have a wonderful rest of your day.